A racist hotel rejects a black millionaire. If you want to know what happens, stay until the end. Eleanor Jackson, a millionaire of African descent and CEO of a globally impactful tech firm, was always on the move, looking for new investment opportunities in projects promoting equality and social well-being. With considerable wealth and a philanthropic spirit, Eleanor had broken barriers and exceeded expectations in her career. During one of her business trips, Eleanor and her team decided to stay at a hotel in a coastal city known for its beautiful landscapes, but also for its reputation of being somewhat conservative. Upon arriving at the hotel, Eleanor noticed how the staff stared at her coldly. It wasn't until she approached the reception that the receptionist, in a dry tone and without looking at her directly, told her there were no available rooms. Eleanor, accustomed to a certain level of service, questioned the response, mentioning that she had made a reservation and that her team was expecting a comfortable stay for important meetings. The receptionist, visibly uncomfortable, held firm to her stance. After a few seconds of awkward silence, she finally admitted it was hotel policy to maintain a certain atmosphere, implying that Eleanor's presence was unwelcome. Eleanor felt the sting of rejection, surprised and offended. She decided to leave without making a scene, walking away from the reception with her head held high and a silent promise to not forget what had happened. Back in her city, Eleanor kept thinking about the incident. It wasn't the first time she faced discrimination, but this time, she felt she had an opportunity to change things in a meaningful way. A few days later, while reviewing investment reports, one of her assistants mentioned that the hotel in question had ironically entered a financial crisis. The chain was looking for buyers to keep the business afloat. Eleanor saw this as a sign. After some research, she discovered that the hotel had lost customers due to discriminatory policies and treatment, and the community was increasingly unwilling to tolerate such behavior. Times were changing, and that hotel seemed to have been left behind. Without hesitation, Eleanor decided to buy the hotel. But her plan went beyond simply purchasing it. She wanted to transform it into a place that would serve as an example of inclusion and respect. To do so, she assembled a team of architects, designers, and hospitality experts, all from diverse backgrounds, to begin working on the hotel's new concept, now renamed the Oasis. When the renovation was completed, Eleanor organized a grand opening ceremony. She invited the whole community, including local entrepreneurs, journalists, and influential figures from the region. But what attracted the most attention was that she had reserved a special place for those hotel employees who had discriminated against her in the past. She wanted to give them the opportunity to see the positive impact they could create if they changed their attitudes. During the event, Eleanor took the stage and delivered an emotional speech about the importance of inclusion and respect. She explained that the Oasis would not just be a place for tourists to rest, but a meeting space where everyone was welcome. She had created a scholarship program for low-income youth, a fund to support female entrepreneurs, and a meeting center for community initiatives. The former employees, initially reluctant, were gradually moved by the direction Eleanor had taken with the hotel. They felt confused, surprised, and in some cases, ashamed of how they had treated her. Eleanor decided to stay for a few months to oversee the hotel and ensure it operated under the new values. Over those weeks, she approached every employee, listening to their stories and sharing hers. She didn't try to preach to them, but instead showed them, through her example, how acceptance and respect could transform lives. Little by little, most employees, even the most skeptical, began to open up and understand her message. Eleanor taught them leadership skills, organized diversity and inclusion workshops, and even promoted employees who showed commitment to change, creating a new culture within the hotel. Just when everything seemed to be going well, Eleanor received unexpected news. An old hotel chain known for its unethical practices was interested in buying properties in the city, and the Oasis was on their list. This company had a reputation for using aggressive tactics to acquire local businesses, and Eleanor knew their arrival could mean the return of old practices. Eleanor decided to confront them directly. She knew that with the support of the community and the inclusive reputation she had built for the Oasis, the hotel could withstand the pressure. During a public meeting, she exposed her commitment to the hotel's values and the importance of keeping it as a haven of diversity, and acceptance. The community massively supported her, and the hotel employees, who had once viewed her with skepticism, became her strongest defenders. Together, they managed to convince the chain to abandon its purchase plans. Years later, the Oasis had become a reference not only for its high-quality service, but for the welcoming and respectful atmosphere it offered to all its guests. Eleanor's story and the transformation of that hotel had become an inspiration for other businesses in the region. Throughout the entire journey, Eleanor showed that change was possible, not through direct confrontations, but through an unshakable example and genuine commitment. Thanks to her vision, the hotel not only survived, but became a symbol of hope and inclusion for the entire community. Eleanor would be remembered not just as a successful millionaire, but as a leader who changed lives. And that hotel, which had once rejected her, remained as a testament to her legacy, a place where everyone, regardless of their background, was welcome and valued.